Hi guys, it's Becky Bamboo. Long time no see. Yes, I know I've been a bad girl in terms of keeping up with my video blogging. Um, I've just had kind of a crazy mess of a life the last few months, and I I can't say that I have wanted to necessarily talk real frequently on YouTube about everything. I kind of have filled you guys in on bits and pieces, but I've had a lot more going on than just dealing with this whole marriage thing, and I don't remember the last time I did a video, so I don't remember if I've included anything about the back issues that I've been having. So I thought today I would do a video, try to get it all in, kind of talk about everything that's been going on and where I'm at right now. So back in October, I woke up in severe pain. I just woke up one morning, severe low back pain, shooting pain down my right leg, all the way to the heel of my foot. It got exacerbated with everything. Moving, breathing. Every time I took a deep breath, the pain would intensify in my leg and in my back. Just extremely uncomfortable. I waited one day because I thought, well, maybe it was just a fluky, weird day. The next day, all of my pain was worse, so I went to the doctor. They did x-rays, basically looked like I was bone on bone on x-ray. So they wanted to do an MRI. Well, lovely insurance companies don't pay for MRIs unless there's a definitive need to have them. They want you to try conservative measures of treating things prior to doing anything extensive like an MRI. So I did almost a full 6 weeks of physical therapy before I could get my insurance to approve for me to have an MRI, which I had 2 weeks ago. At that time, they did it on a stat basis, so basically by the time I left the MRI office and I got to my chiropractor physical therapy office, they already had the results, which was really handy for me because I've already spent 6 weeks wanting to know what's the hell's going on in there. Why am I still in pain? I'm too young to have this kind of pain. Which is all like the doctors kept saying to me, like, there's no way are you sure you're hurting? I'm like, am I sure I'm hurting? Yeah, I'm sure I'm hurting. So anyway, when I got the results of my MRI, it is not good. I have a severely herniated disc at the L4-5 level, and I have severe stenosis of that same level in multiple areas. So basically, all the pain in my leg is obviously a nerve issue, and basically the doctor said this is a pretty significant injury for someone of your age. I actually have never had someone so young with such a serious back problem. I was like, oh gee, leave it to me. So last week on Thursday, a week ago today, I guess I should say today is the 26th of December of 2013. Today is the day after Christmas. So a week ago I went and they set me up with a pain management doctor who is basically an anesthesiologist and also has a pain management specialty, to have a steroid injection in my back. Was not at all looking forward to that. Actually, I was pretty nervous about that. But when I got in there, we kind of started discussing basically where would this injury have occurred? Did I have some kind of traumatic event? Did I get in a car accident? Had I taken a serious fall? And I did take a fairly serious fall when I was in college. I kind of was at a party and I got drunk and I fell down a flight of stairs and I landed face first into a ping pong table. Yeah. But, after I told her about that, she said, I really don't think that landing face first into something would have caused this kind of an injury. And I said, yeah. So I just, in passing, mentioned, in my mind, I have always wondered, would the severe obesity that I had for so long have caused any kind of back injury? And she said, bingo, we figured it out. Actually, this pain management doctor is quite obese herself and is actually looking into weight loss surgery. So you all can imagine where this conversation went as I was explaining about my journey and how much weight I've lost. And, when, people look at me and nobody believes that I've lost over 200 pounds, which I'm flattered by because that means that my skin and everything looks pretty good for what they see. And, she just was blown away. And I always keep a pre-op picture of myself on my cell phone, and I showed it to her, and she was just like, phew. So we had lots of conversation about obesity, and she definitely believes that that is the reason that that I have this severe back problem. Because she said it's really very, very uncommon for someone your age to have this kind of serious thing going on. Wonderful, lucky me. So a week ago I had a steroid injection, which has helped big fat zero. I am scheduled for injection number 2 a week from today, which I can't get here soon enough. I'm basically the last, since October 29th, I have been living on Vicodin and Flexeril every day. Every day I have to take Vicodin and Flexeril in order to function. And on the days that I'm at work, it is not fun. I'm in constant pain. Some days are better than others. Yesterday was a horrible day. Today's a little bit better. It can fluctuate from hour to hour. 1 hour I can feel great. The next hour I feel terrible. The pain that's down my leg seems to come and go. Some days I don't really notice it at all, and then other days it's all that I feel. But I have constant pain in my lower back. Sitting doesn't help. Laying doesn't help. Basically nothing helps. I continue to do physical therapy. I continue to get chiropractic adjustments 3 days a week at this point. And, you know, it's just not fun. The physical therapist suggested to me that once I get the pain under control, that I invest in a personal trainer to help me strengthen my core, show me how to strengthen everything around that one area in my back, that will help take the load off of that, and should be, you know, to basically encouraged me to get back into a gym routine, and told me that this is a necessity, basically. And quite frankly, I'm kind of glad to hear that, because I've had no real motivation to get back into the gym because I don't have a lot of time with my son. But for this to be like you have to do this for yourself so that your pain can stay under control, so that you avoid surgery, that's a little bit of a different reason to have to make yourself get back into the gym routine. So I'm a little bit thankful that I have kind of that thing hanging out there. I'm not so thrilled at the idea of getting a personal trainer, just because I have had a personal trainer work with me before, when I was, you know, severely active in the gym. And that's kind of what I explained to her, is that I used to be a gym rat totally until I had my son. And, you know, she said, I understand, but basically you need to, at this point, you really need somebody who can show you what not to do. Because there are things that you should no longer do in the gym, and you're not going to know that unless you're working with somebody directly. So I understand. So I'm, you know, going to start pricing out some personal trainer sessions, and I'm going to look at a different gym. I used to belong to the YMCA, but we now have a gym here that's right up the street from where I live that's called Anytime Fitness, and you can use it anytime. Which I think will be a lot easier for me in terms of my work schedule, dealing with my son. You know, I could be able to go at night after I get home from work and get him put to bed, because he typically goes to bed at like 7 o'clock. So I can go to the gym in the evening after he goes to bed and then come home. And, you know, I think that would be, you know, will work out better for me. It will be a more costly place to go, but, you know, the cost of that is pretty small in comparison to how I feel right now. If it keeps me from feeling like this ever again, then I would be, you know, really grateful. She's not so sure about me running, at least not yet. She wants me to do some strengthening before I start running again, which does kind of make me sad, because I just miss it so much. I miss running. I miss that feeling that I get when I run. But I understand that it will be a process, and that I've got to do this the right way in order to, you know, take care of myself, more or less. I'm really uncomfortable sitting here. Anyway, so the interesting thing about all of this is that I just woke up one day hurting like this. And so I kind of said, I don't understand why I woke up hurting so bad all of a sudden. I said, basically, since I had my son, I had an epidural with my son during labor, and I said at that time, ever since then, I've just had twingy back problems. And really, like, I never noticed back pain prior to that at all. And she explained it that basically, when I got the epidural during labor, that completely numbed out all the pain. She said, you've had back pain, chronic back pain forever, but you just have been used to it. Your body just, that's what you thought you were supposed to feel like. She said, then you had an epidural, which completely deadened everything. And then after that starts to wear off, then you start to feel what you weren't really noticing before, which totally makes sense to me. So, basically, I'm kind of like at a point now where I'm just living day by day. I'm looking forward to a week from today for the next injection. She basically told me she believed that it was going to take 2 to 4 injections before I would really feel much different. She kind of told me after the first one that she gave me that she didn't really suspect that I would get much benefit because I have a lot of swelling in my spine. There's just a lot of inflammation, and it's just that my injury is very significant. So here's to hoping that number 2 actually will make it better. And she told me that I needed to bring somebody to drive me on the second one because she's going to kind of use more drugs, more or less, and that she didn't trust me driving for a little while after that. So we'll see how I end up. Do the injections hurt? Yeah, not horribly so. They're uncomfortable, I think would be the way to describe it. It's uncomfortable. It creates a lot of pressure. You can feel like when they inject the steroid in there, you can kind of feel a pressure, and that pressure kind of just sticks around for a few days, which, I didn't like that. I found that to be a little annoying, but if they end up helping, it's well worth the discomfort of the injection because it's really not that significant in comparison to hurting all day long every day. So anyway, that's where I'm at with that. Marriage-wise, Jared and I have kind of decided to try and reconcile, and we have been seeing a counselor. We actually go again tomorrow to see our counselor, and we have a very long road ahead of us because we're so distant from one another, and I think that we've just both become such different people that neither one of us really knows the other one very well at this point. I think that we both need different things than we did when we first got married and even when we first started dating. And I probably am the biggest factor of that because I just know I'm totally a different person than I was even when we got married. The last 3 years plus since my weight loss surgery have been a huge growth period for me. Something that I needed to have happen. And I would be lying if I didn't mention that having my son changed me significantly. Having someone that you have to be responsible for 24/7, that changes you. And becoming a mom just changes you when you're a woman. There's no other way to explain it, but it does. Your priorities shift significantly. Things that you used to think about, you think that you needed, go away. Things that you really legitimately need kind of come into the forefront. And, that changes your relationship with your husband, in a huge way because it is a huge time burden having a child, and it's just a financial burden. Everything changes. So we're working at it. Every day is something new, and I can't say that we're in a good place yet because it's, we're really not. We're really struggling, and some days are good and some days are not, and we kind of just are pushing on and trying to communicate better and learn how to communicate better with one another, and that's all we can really do at this point. So that's where I'm at with that. Weight-wise, I haven't changed at all, which is fun. For Christmas, it was fun to get pajamas, and I got this new fleece, and I didn't have to tell anybody sizes because my size hasn't changed any. I mean, how fabulous is that? It's really, really cool. So, yeah, I'm doing fine, other than my back, which I hope to be doing fine with in, another month or so. I'm hoping by a month from now I can say, oh, I feel so much better. So yeah, I miss all of you. I love all of you. I hope everybody is doing well. losing weight, maintaining weight, doing all that good stuff. And I'll see y'all soon. Mwah.